Anyways, guys, welcome back to another review video that I'm doing, another reaction video. This one is called The Puppets of Online Gaming. It came out a few months back, but I've only just recently learned of it. Somebody passed it along to me. And from what they told me, it's basically about online gambling, specifically about stake and the online gambling streamers that they have on Twitch. I haven't seen this video at all. I'm going to preface my thoughts, or this video, with my thoughts of online gambling. Personally, I'm not a fan of gambling being on Twitch. I'm not worried about myself. I don't really gamble. I went to Vegas. It was a month ago now. Came back. Took my dad there for Father's Day. I lost a grand total of $100 because I made one bet and lost one bet, and then I just don't gamble. So I'm not really, and I have gambled on other sporting events, but it's for like $10 at a time, $20 or something like that. I don't have like a gambling addiction by any stretch of the imagination. I've maybe gambled on sporting events less than 25 times in my life. And again, the wagers are like $20 or something like that. I know, real baller, right? And whenever I do go to Vegas, the slot machines, if I do gamble, are the last things that I would ever play. Because everybody knows going in that they are rigged or programmed. They're pre-programmed to lose, you know, a certain percentage of the time, so that in the long run, the house will always win. And I know I've got friends, family, whatever, that they go to Vegas and they're like, yeah, I won $800 on a slot machine. And it's like, okay, well, how much did you lose on slot machines and stuff like that? I just don't, if I'm going to gamble, I'm going to play like poker or something like that, where I actually do play poker, or can play. And I usually break even or actually win some money at poker whenever I go to Vegas. Again, it's not a huge amount. Sometimes I win $1,000 or a couple $1,000 over the course of a few days that I'm there, which, if on a good time when I go there, very rarely do I lose more than $100 or $200. And usually if I lose more than a few $100, I just stop gambling for the rest of the trip. And it's not a big deal to me. It's not like I'm like, damn, I can't play poker anymore. But some people have a real problem with it. Some people have a real problem with gambling, and they can't be around it. It's the same thing as, kind of imagine like I don't know, a crackhead or something like that. They if they're trying to fight their addiction and they're not around it, it's a lot easier than they're in a room full of other people that are doing crack, or it's visible to them, or it's easily visible to them. They can just sit there and look at it. So there are people that gamble online, that use these casinos, that it's entertainment, it's just for fun or whatever, and that's fine. But me personally, before having watched this video, I honestly think that Stake and, these companies know that these people that have addictions to gambling are going to see this, and they're not going to be able to resist, and they want to play. And they see, and then also they see these streamers that maybe they look up to, and they're like, hey, look at this guy. This guy just won $12 million or something like that. That's going to happen to me. And you've also got the situation where you've got little kids that watch Twitch, and you can say what you want, but little kids look up to their idols. And I sure hope they're not little kids looking up to me, but a lot of these other streamers, there are. You can see it when you go to these conventions, how much these kids look up to some of these streamers. And when if they look up to someone who's gambling, they might sit there and look at them and go, hey, that's cool. That's what I want to do. And immediately start to have the desire to gamble when they're older or something like that. Kind of like easing them in on drugs or something like that. So I don't like that it's so easily accessible. I don't know that Twitch does this, but I honestly believe that any Twitch gambling streams should automatically be selected for adult-only content, so that you had to prove that you're over 21 or whatever the legal gambling age is to actually be able to watch the streams. I think that wouldn't be a terrible idea. I wouldn't have a problem with it because I'm over. If I want to watch the streams, I can. But if I had a little kid that was 12 years old, I wouldn't have to worry about that kid watching gambling streams when they're 12 years old. There'd be some method to actually try and see if they're not. Like, you would have to actually provide valid identification to show that you're over the age of 12. And yes, I know there's fake ID, but generally a 10-year-old, 12-year-old kid's not going to be able to get that. So anyways, we'll take a watch through the video. And like always, chat, if you want to comment, please, by all means, go ahead. Hey, Cindergozer. Go ahead. We'll stop the video at some point. I just want to make my thoughts clear as to how I feel about online gambling. I don't think online gambling should be banned, but maybe restricted in certain areas. And Twitch should maybe take a look at whether or not they want that sort of thing on their site. But they're probably making a ton of money off of it. And you know how money corrupts. So anyways, let's take a look at the video. By Philion. And again, of course, everyone, I would appreciate if you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I'll leave all the links down below for my Twitch channel as well, so you can watch me. I stream there 6 days a week at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'll leave a link to this original video down there as well. But this video is by Philion. It's already got 664,000 views.
Or what? I don't know. I'm thinking we keep going for a bit, and like I'm due for that red crazy time. There's no doubt about it. There's no questioning that.
That red crazy time.
Holy shit! Holy 20! This is get the fucking cameras out. I'm fucking recording this shit. This is 20x crazy time. This is gonna be fucking crazy. This I tell you what, this here is gonna be fucking record making. You're about to witness history go down here.
Okay, I don't know. Jeez, the next one's train wreck. I don't know anything about the contracts that these gambling streamers have. I don't know if they're actually gambling with their own money or if they're just saying that they're gambling with their own money, because they're losing millions at a time sometimes, and then mysteriously suddenly they win a bunch back, and it's all just an act. I don't want to accuse them of that because I don't know if that's actually the case or not. But something strange is going on here. Like, there's something strange is going on. By the way, where Trainwrecks lives, the view I recognize because I live in the same area. But he had to move to he moved to Canada. I thought he was dating a Canadian. That's why I moved here. But I don't know if that's actually the case. But
do not get it twisted. Do not gamble.
I've heard him do this rant. I've watched Trainwrecks for years. Follow each other on Twitter. Seems like a decent dude. But I've seen him do this rant over and over and over again, telling people don't gamble. Don't do this. Don't do that. You will lose.
Do not start. Gambling is entertainment and entertainment only. You won't break even. You won't win. You won't do any of that. Do you understand?
It's fucking dope that these people rinse their fans and then get to go perform in like live event spaces.
Listen, man, in life, you're dealt cards, okay? Excuses are literally the most stupid thing.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? This guy looks familiar. There's a casino by my house, so I go there occasionally. I don't mind like the odd gambling. Like I don't mind. There's a casino not too far from where I live as well. I could walk there easily in like 25 minutes. But I'm just not somebody that's like, I'm not sitting there going, oh my God, I need to go gambling. Some people are like that though, right? So this guy, who is this guy?
Stop using excuses, boss up, get up, and grind.
The puppets of stake.com. All right.
So you want to get rich, and you want to get rich quick. Like, really quick. There's just one problem. Your country doesn't support your entrepreneurial spirit. So you license an online casino company in Curacao because they have a stellar reputation. Is
that how you pronounce it? Curacao? Where is that? That's in South America.
of
or something,
regulating
isn't
the
it?
biggest and most trustworthy gambling
Wait, hold on. I was actually.
websites across the globe.
Gambling companies, because it's not just, I know a lot of you guys just know like Rubrit. What is it? Is that it? Stake. Everyone knows Stake. Stake's the most popular one, and that's because Train does it and Ecstasy does it, right? They were willing to pay me $35,000 an hour, but what they wanted
5,000 an hour, chat.
was I couldn't even utter the words what they wanted me to do.
Chat, could you bend your morals for $35,000 an hour? Like, first of all, do you guys think that what the gambling streamers are doing is right or wrong? Do you guys have a problem with the gambling streamers? I just feel like there's something fishy going on. Like, there's something fishy. Like, yes, obviously you're sponsored by these gambling companies and stuff like that to play, but you're getting paid. I don't know how. I've heard rumors of how much, you know, like, people make, but I just feel like there's something really fishy going on with them just sitting there and playing. Like, it's just all a ruse. It's just all fake. And it's just to get people sucked into actually gambling, and you use their code, and, you know, if they spend money, then you get a kickback and stuff like that. And there's actually no risk to the people that have these big contracts with these sites. Like, I really think that there's something fishy. There's something really suspect going on. And I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't know their contracts, but I find it hard to believe that they're being paid a flat amount, and then they're using their own money for gambling, and they're risking losing everything that they're making, including what they're making from these gambling companies as well. Like, that just seems really fishy.
Trainwreck. This is their headquarters, bro, on Google Maps.
What's this?
This is where.
Give me a second here.
No. This is important. This is where State Casino's located, you guys.
Oh my God. This is their head. This is the largest online gambling. Is it the largest online gambling company? And this is their head. Yeah, I mean, come on, you got to look at that and go, come on, there's something fishy here. Something fishy.
How have we gone? Yeah.
What's this? The address for Franchi Bloomweg Caraco? Hold on. Google Maps. So we're looking at, what was it for? This one here. Wait, that's not it. Oh, here it is. We're in the front of the building instead. So they were over here. This is the front of the building. General catering. It's not even, is it? What's this? Term lottery. It's like, it's this part of the building. It's not even the entire building. It's this part of the building. That is like, hold on. Can we go like just a little bit over? No, apparently not. Google Maps, where did you just send me? You sent me around the corner. Dumb thing. Can we just get back out onto the road, please? Oh, that's it. I'm getting an iPhone. This is bullshit. Oh no, it's okay. We're over on this side. So this is the side of the building, right here. And I can't. Hold on. Let's just go back and punch it in again. Like, it's not even the entire building. It's a small part of the fucking building. This part here, this little tiny part of the entire building. So they're looking at it from the side. It's not even the entire building. It's the tiny part around the side of the building.
Argument of kids promoting and catering to kids. And now we're talking about crypto. Oh,
this is the
can you say 100%
confidently that this is not a scammer business?
What?
Train? I mean, honestly, can you? Because it sure looks like a fucking scam.
Look at this. This is their address.
Maybe it's not.
This is their address,
Yikes.
you guys. They're in a shed, you guys.
Crazy to me.
They're in a shed. This is their headquarters.
Did you hear someone laughing in the background? Hold on, listen to this.
They're in a shed, you guys.
Crazy to me.
They're in a shed.
There's someone laughing in the background.
Crypto king Edward Craven buys Toorak mansion for 38 million Australian dollars.
Oh my, what? Is this the guy that started the gambling site? Look at this. Obviously in Australia.
Ed Craven, 26-year-old co-founder
And the business is run out of a shack.
of the world's biggest
Not even the shack, it's out of like the side of the shack.
online cryptocurrency casino, stake.com.
Let's be honest, do you expect anyone to believe that a tiny island off the coast of South America that got independence 12 years ago has the resources and governing bodies to ensure that all is fair and just in the world of online gambling? I really don't think so.
Oh, come on, of
is home
course.
to over 450 online casinos, including Roulette, Duelbits, and the most successful behemoth in the crypto casino space, Stake.com. Curacao gambling license is a laughable stamp of approval that your grandma could get if she wanted to. It has the same authority as a wet
So we
napkin,
could?
and it only exists
Wait, chat, does that mean that we can start our own gambling site?
because the country is struggling. This is for Franche Boemweg, home to Raw Entertainment BV, which is Roulette, and Medium Rare NV, which is Stake. Raw,
Both companies out of one building, and there's a catering company in the front. There's a catering company in the front, so these two gambling sites are basically based out of this build, like the side shack of this
BV, which
building.
is Roulette, and Medium Rare NV, which is Stake. Raw, medium rare, steak. Come on. Not exactly a billion-dollar operation, is it? How do you explain a 26-year-old spending 38 million Australian dollars on a house while operating a company that isn't even legal in his own country? Eddie Craven is a 26-year-old multi-millionaire who co-founded Stake.com with 28-year-old Bijan Tarani. Together they formed EasyGo Gaming based out of Melbourne, Australia. Not much is known about Bijan Tarani or how these two came together, but Craven can be seen as the face of Stake. He goes by Steak Eddie on YouTube, and you can be the judge if this is real or not.
Oh, this is tough decisions. Do we keep going or what? I don't know. I'm thinking we keep going for a bit, and I'm due for that red crazy time. There's no doubt about it. There's no questioning that.
That just reeks of being fake.
Holy shit! Holy 20! This is... Get the fucking cameras out! I'm fucking recording this shit!
How much did he win here?
This is 20x crazy time! This is gonna be fucking...
He won 28 crazy time? How much did he win? Total bet? Is it like 39,000? I don't even see it where it says...
This, I tell you what, this here is gonna be fucking record making. You're about to witness history go down here. Holy fucking jeebus.
Yo, this shit goes 20x crazy time. Can
20x crazy time. I'm gonna start saying that.
EasyGo Games
Can we start saying that in stream?
is a
Let's
startup
make an emote for that. Just 20x.
company based out of Australia that builds the games that these casinos use. And right now, Stake is valued at over $1 billion. But how is any of this possible if Australia outlawed online casinos 20 years ago? Craven and Tarani have figured out a loophole in Australian law and have been exploiting it for years. Online casinos are prohibited in Australia.
Wait, that doesn't make sense, dude. If it just because it's outlawed in Australia, it doesn't mean that they can't run it out of... That's what they're doing. They're running out of Carousel, right?
$1 billion. But how is any of this possible if Australia outlawed online casinos 20 years ago? Craven and Tarani have figured out a loophole in Australian law and have been exploiting it for years. Online casinos are prohibited in Australia so long as you don't advertise or serve anyone in Australia. If they're able to outsource the licensing and they don't explicitly advertise in Australia, then technically they're in the clear. So how did this website get so big? This is not Craven and Tarani's first rodeo. Over 8 years ago, they launched Prime Dice, and according to Craven himself, Prime Dice was the biggest Bitcoin gambling website at the time. In 2015, Craven posted on the Bitcoin.com forums under the alias Edward Miroslav.
Wait, when? Hold on. What year was this? 20... I thought he said 2013.
Ronnie's first rodeo. Over 8 years ago, they
So 2013. Hold on a second. I just want to check something here. Price of Bitcoin in 2013. So if their profits were coming in the form of Bitcoin, Bitcoin was between $13 and $1,100 at that point. So if they were profiting off of Bitcoin, off of because the gambling site, I believe you pay with Bitcoin, right? So if that's what they were earning, those earnings that they made back then, could you imagine what they had when Bitcoin was worth like $60,000? Okay, back to the video.
launched Prime Dice, and according to Craven himself, Prime Dice was the biggest Bitcoin gambling website at the time. In 2015, Craven posted on the Bitcoin.com forums under the alias Edward Miroslav. Do you consider offering gambling to be a moral issue? Is your view, if we wouldn't offer it, they would gamble on another site? Or do you think that some people may have started...
Hey, chat, what do you think? Do you think considering gambling... Do you consider offering gambling to be a moral issue as if we wouldn't offer it if they would gamble on another site? Or do you think that some people may have started gambling by finding Prime Dice and may have, wouldn't have started otherwise? What percentage of Prime Dice players do you think are underage? There's been gambling since, like, you know, for a millennia, like millennias. Before people could count, they probably learned how to gamble. Like, honestly. But I think what most people find sickening, maybe, if you find it sickening with the sites that are, or the gambling streams that are on Twitch, is how I wouldn't say it's thrown in your face because you choose to watch it, right? But I don't know, like it seems fake. It seems like people are acting when they're watching, like they know that they're not losing any money, and then they've got to put on this huge show when they win, big money and stuff like that. It just seems fake. And if it's indeed fake, I have no evidence that it is, other than it just feels like it's ridiculous. Then that to me is sick, because all you're doing is preying on people and trying to get them to bet money. And sure, a lot of these people that could be betting money on these sites can afford to lose $100, $1,000. Some of them could probably afford to lose $100,000. But there's people out there that have serious problems and they get sucked into this shit. There's some people that are just weak-minded and they see, somebody, a streamer, win $20,000 and they're like, hey, he just did it, I'm gonna do it, and they just start gambling. They're not able to actually think for themselves that, hey, my chances of winning are actually really low. Eventually, if I start off with $100,000 and just keep gambling, eventually you're going to hit zero. Like, that is just a fact. If you start off with $100,000 and you just keep gambling nonstop over and over and over again, yeah, you may win, you may go above 100,000, but ultimately, over the course of time, you're eventually going to be dwindled down to zero. That's just the way these slot machines work.
Gambling by finding Prime Dice and maybe wouldn't have started otherwise. What percentage of Prime Dice players...
Again, I do not think that Twitch should be allowed to stream to and show these streams to anyone that is not proven to be over the age of 18 or 21 or whatever the legal age is in your company. And if that means that you have to actually send in photo ID like you do with some things online, then so be it. Otherwise, accounts are locked and restricted, so you can't see it.
Players do you think are
I'd have no problem with
underage?
that.
Do you consider it an issue that players do not have...
You know who would have a problem with it, though? The streamers that are actually streaming this shit, because they would lose a ton of money immediately.
...to provide any personal data. Craven responds by saying, I don't consider it to be a moral issue. I view it purely as entertainment and enjoy responsible gambling myself. I definitely hit a point where I thought Prime Dice was a net negative for the community, but then I watched site after site scam users out of countless thousands of coins. Prime Dice is a safe haven for people who want to bet where the user knows the roll
Listen to this argument. We're the safe haven. We're the place where you can come and you're gonna be okay. Don't worry. We're the safe guys. what's the old saying? The person that's telling you that they're not the scam artist, they're actually the ones that are the scam artists. Like, if you have to tell someone that, hey, listen, I'm not going to scam you, or if somebody comes up to you and they're trying to sell you something, they're like, hey, listen, man, it's not a scam. That's almost a sign that it's a scam. Trust us. Trust us.
Knows exactly what the odds are. At the end of
Trust us. Our offices are in a shack in Caraco, whatever the name of the place is. Our offices are in Caraco at 4 whatever address, and right beside our catering company. Like, trust us. We know what we're doing. You can trust us.
End of the day, gambling is the choice of the individual. But what is truly a shame is when casinos fleece unsuspecting users who think they are getting the advertised odds. Many may disagree, but if Prime Dice and our future offerings can bring provably fair gambling and a lower edge to the masses, we will have definitely impacted this industry in a positive way. The future offerings? Stake.com. Crypto casinos have exploded in the last 3 years, and Stake sits at the top of the food chain. Using cryptocurrency instead of actual dollar amounts makes it universally available and evasive from any central government. The amount of money that we're talking about with Stake.com begins to not make sense the longer you think about it. You'll see streamers lose $800,000 in a matter of minutes and then recoup it back with a $1 million jackpot moments later.
I've been sitting here for 8 days. 12-hour streams, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Everyone else is happy on every other machine, hitting big. I've shown loyalty to you, and you just spit in my face. How can you do that to a degenerate gambling addict that's trying to give you everything just to get back more? Oh!
Dude,
That's $200 bet. $200 bet.
That's
$200
good. Multiple.
Oh! Oh!
That's huge.
255,000! No one believes!
That's it, dude.
DX, 160K!
160,000. Rogue is back.
120K!
Oh my God!
720K! Yeah! Fuck the haters! Fuck the haters! Fuck the haters!
Chat, what? So much online gambling just seems it just seems seriously like honestly I feel like I have a good sense of when there's a scam going on, and this just screams to me like a large scam that's going on within the industry, like right from top to bottom, like the company itself, the people that are streaming it, like it feels like it's just one big fucking scam. Do you see when a bunch of celebrities got hacked on Twitter and were posting that with Bitcoin? No. I wish Alo did some online gambling once in a while, dude. Sure, I'll gamble. I'll see if I can find a site that allows me to gamble like $1 or 50 cents or something. All right.
Fuck the haters!
You see, gambling is oftentimes compared to other vices like tobacco and alcohol. Although all of them can ruin your life, one of them has mathematical odds stacked against you. It is no secret that the house always has an edge. The game is rigged against you, yet people still voluntarily partake. Whether it be the rush of neurochemicals firing off making people throw their money away, or an addiction that slowly strangles people, it is
I bet in denominations of $500 per game, so in a week itself, like 30,000 to probably. Holy shit.
It is glaringly obvious that gambling can ruin lives. And while Craven is correct in stating that gambling is an individual's choice, individuals' choices can be influenced. And when you can afford to buy influence, you begin to lose any sort of credibility. And luckily for you guys, I don't have to flee to Canada or Mexico to promote a product.
What's wrong with fleeing to Canada? What? It's legit. If they've got to come to Canada, it's legit. I promise. I promise. I wouldn't scam you guys.
Which is why today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped is trusted by over 4 million men.
My video's not.
Body wash, which will leave your skin feeling cool, revitalized, and...
All right.
Yo.
Celebrity.
I'm about to explain how the buying power of celebrity advertising through the elaboration likelihood model predicts the persuasive process
of what? Hold on.
Likelihood model.
Collaboration likelihood model. Okay.
predicts the persuasive process of Stake's marketing, aka their collaboration with Drake is sinister. According to ELM, people want to hold useful, accurate attitudes. An attitude is defined as an enduring way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, and it has a valence. It's either positive or negative. This theory states that 1. Messages are persuasive if they produce favorable thoughts. Odds are you are not going to be persuaded if something is very annoying.
So
Number
they get
2,
So they get these actors or famous people or people that you look up to try to sell their product.
people's
That's basically
abilities
what
to
he's saying.
process information varies.
When you would normally not buy
Elaboration
it.
is the extent to which someone thinks about issue-relevant information, and elaboration likelihood is the probability that high elaboration will occur. This will all start to make sense once we apply it to Stake's advertising campaigns. If we take a look at Drake's collaboration with Stake.com, it's obvious that he is not going to give us the scientific, objective data arguing why we should be gambling. If he did, that would be an example of high elaboration. Instead, we can see a prime example of a message source, gamble with Stake, with low elaboration. The parameters that dictate a message source include expertise, trustworthiness, and attractiveness. Expertise only persuades if we know that the message source is an expert going into the message. It's safe to say that Drake is not an
Drake is
expert.
not an
This
expert.
collaboration
Okay, so
came
that-
out of nowhere. Trustworthiness can be measured if the message is unbiased and objective. In this case, Drake's collaboration with Stake is biased because he's being paid millions of dollars, and subjective because he promotes this company with low elaboration. The attractiveness of a messenger is more persuasive with low elaboration, meaning the more you think about the message, the less important the actual attractiveness of the source is. But remember, celebrity advertising is banking on low elaboration. You're not supposed to be sitting there critically thinking about why he's collaborating with Stake. That's why Drake's attractiveness matters in this context. According to elaboration likelihood model, there are 2 ways that people digest information. Number 1 is central route processing. This is when elaboration is high and people can be seen paying attention to every little detail. Number 2 is peripheral route processing, where elaboration is low and you start to notice the less important things. Celebrity endorsements operate using peripheral route processing. They are banking on the fact that you'll be so enamored or distracted to actually think hard enough to scrutinize the message being
So you're sitting there looking at Drake and how his life is and all this other stuff, and you're not paying attention to what the results of actually gambling thousands of dollars could actually be and what your chances are of winning. I believe that's the gist of what he's saying. In case you're you're just kind of watching the video, but I think that's the gist of what he's saying, basically.
Delivered. Most people don't just use one route of processing or the other, but actually both interchangeably to varying degrees based on certain personality traits such as relevance. Most people can't relate to online gambling, but we've been socially conditioned to accept Drake as part of pop culture. Everybody knows Drake.
I'm not a fan of Drake, to be honest. So their advertising of Drake with Stake doesn't mean anything to me.
This can be seen when people
I
are
don't care.
fanning money and
I'm a fellow Canadian, not a fan of Drake.
screaming in excitement whenever Drake gives them money.
Wait, he just gives people money? Wait, hold on. No, I like Drake. Wait, I was kidding. What is this? Is this part of like Stake's thing? He just walks around and gives people money? Sorry, Drake. I apologize for everything that I said. What is this? He just walks around and gives people money? Drake, you got to come out to Vancouver, man.
The other personality characteristic that dictates how you process information is one's need for cognition. Is your brain smoother than a chicken cutlet, or are you a wrinkly brain Chad? This really just depends on if you're smart or not. Are you on the edge of your seat thinking that Stake.com is cool because Drake said so? Or do you make a mini documentary about the ins and outs of mass communication and its effects on audiences as a whole? It is obvious that no solid information
Drake,
or
let's be
arguments can
friends,
convince
please.
people why you
Drake,
should
if you're
gamble away
watching
your money
this,
online. The
your
only
bro.
thing in this advertisement is Drake's name attached to it, and he even said that he's going to give back to the people. This world is diseased. Stake.com's commercials are just going to give back.
Drake and Stake have come together. I'm going to announce I play to win some real money and give it all to you because it's better than sharing the love with my people.
Back to the people. This world is diseased. Stake.com's commercials are designed to appeal to the peripheral processing route. They are literally telling you that you're too stupid and lack the cognitive ability to read deeper. I know this because it's impossible to design a central processing route message when it comes to gambling. It is a degenerative activity proven time and time again to produce net negative results. This is precisely why celebrity advertising is Stake.com's favorite way of marketing. Stake is the master of puppets pulling the strings of their pawns across the globe. They offer a disgusting amount of money to streamers, celebrities, and organizations in order to inject their brand into pop culture. Drake, the UFC, and Twitch streamers are just the start of it. All of these people and corporations are...
That show used to be filmed here, I believe, actually. Cinder Grows are here in Vancouver, so he's very familiar with Vancouver. He'd probably, if I gave him my address, he'd probably know exactly where it was. Drake. You know, we're bros, man. Come on out. Give me some free money. Hold on, let me go back and...
Drake, the UFC, and Twitch streamers are just the start of it. All of these people and corporations are abusing their parasocial relationships that got them in their position in the first place, while insulting the intelligence of their audience, all while hiding behind weak arguments and coping mechanisms to justify their sponsorship.
Okay, oh my god, they're doing a whole thing on Trainwreck. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, you... And with what Mizkif said... It sounds like Mizkif knows the extent that Stake is actually asking their streamers to go to, like the extent that they're asking their streamers to go to get people to sign up to gamble or to make people or help, you know, encourage people to gamble. And it sounds like there was a decision to be made, and Trainwrecks decided to say yes, and Mizkif maybe decided to say no. So Mizkif, bravo, dude. That is something, like, honestly, if $35,000 an hour is what Mizkif said, would you guys do it for $35,000 an hour? Would you be willing to go and try to advertise and get people to sign up to gambling sites to potentially lose a lot of money, maybe even their life savings? Would that be worth it for you to do that for $35,000 an hour? Findy would. Findy would do it for $500 an hour. You kidding me? Give him $50 an hour and a discount at IKEA, and Findy's there.
Trainwrecks TV, or Train, is the largest crypto casino Twitch streamer who moved to Canada to pursue his gambling sponsorship with Stake. At first, he was being paid around $1 million a month.
And that's precisely why they're paying you $1 million a month. Like, look, I think
no, they are
getting the bag is one thing,
me.
right? And by the way, it's not a bad thing.
They are losing money, and my affiliates show that. They are losing money on me. They pay me because if I'm going to go live, they want it to be on their site. They find it...
Okay, that's... that is as weird as that sounds. This actually makes sense, and this is something that that other companies will do. Is they will deliberately pay money for advertising so that your competition can't pay certain celebrities for that advertising. Or it's the same thing as like when you, like the Super Bowl, for example, they will have a sponsored by like Coca-Cola or something like that. Coca-Cola will pay that money, not because they think that they're going to be making more money back for that advertising, that people are suddenly going to go out and go, shit, dude, we got to go out and buy some Coke Zero. They do it so that Pepsi can't come in and buy that advertising. So what Train is saying here actually makes sense. And Stake is such a large company that they don't want anyone else to get a grasp on like a foothold with any of the market share. So that's actually not surprising, like that he would say that, and that it's probably true.
It more damaging if I'm on another site versus being on theirs. Do you understand? They don't pay me because I'm bringing them money.
Yeah, a billion-dollar company that operates out of a shack in the middle of the ocean just loves to lose money. But recently he stated...
This guy's... I've agreed with a lot of what this guy's saying in this video, but he needs to understand how these businesses operate. Stake has... I don't know... I have no idea what the market share is, but they have an overwhelming huge chunk of the market share for these types of online casinos. And I would not be surprised at all if they're doing everything that they can to continuously dwarf the competition so that they can't get a foothold. If Trainwrecks were suddenly to jump ship from Stake to some other small company or whatever, that would allow that small company to get a much larger chunk of the market share. And that is why Stake pays Trainwrecks so much.
But you're making $1 million a month from Stake. I'm not making $1 million more. I'm making much more. The fuck do you mean $1 million a month?
I can tell. Okay, I don't know that this is doxing. People know that I live in the same area as Train. My apartment is not anywhere near what his is, but he lives in a very, very nice condo, very nice building. The view is spectacular. You can look up what the market prices are in Vancouver. I don't know if this is a 1 or a 2 bedroom or a 3 bedroom or whatever it is. Maybe he's got a patio as well overlooking the ocean. Like this condo is easily probably worth a couple $1 million. So
The fuck? That was the first month, buddy. The fuck? Do you see what I gamble with? I mix what I make and what I already have together, and I gamble raw. Now, has that been smart for me? Absolutely fucking not.
He also had an affiliate code in which he profits off his viewers gambling on Stake, but it seems as if he's at the point now where he doesn't need
Let's be honest, Trainwrecks wasn't making, although from streaming, he wasn't making that as much money on streaming as he was after he started doing the gambling stuff. Like that's, I think, when his career really, like he was doing well when he was doing the stuff with Mitch Jones and stuff like that. Like he had like 1,000 or 2,000 viewers or something like that. But it was when he started, I believe, when he started doing the gambling stuff when it really started to happen. So
to advertise it. Train is known for hitting absolutely insane jackpots, including $14 million and more recently
14.
a maximum jackpot of $22.5 million. And to any doubters out there, Train would tell you that he wagers more than he wins. Of course he would hit these giant jackpots. He plays slots for 16 hours a day. Do you not tune into the streams? Only the OGs know how much he's actually putting on the line for your entertainment. There are 2 objective truths I'm about to tell you. Stake is making a return on investment with their sponsorship. People gamble because of Train. This is how any business works. It's simply an exchange of value. And number 2, Train gets paid millions of dollars a month, regardless if he's up or down, to click spin on a slot machine. Is the money real that they're playing with? The streamers will all say yes. Are the jackpots rigged in their favor? And all the streamers will tell you no. But do you believe them? There are common...
This is what we were talking about. Something feels fishy. Something feels fishy. They say that they're not being rigged, but of course they're saying that. There's no way that you would watch them. If you thought they were rigged, or if they said, hey, listen, yeah, no, they're all rigged. We know that we're going to win at the end of the day. It's no problem. People wouldn't watch them. They'd be like, I'm not watching this shit. So their only answer that they can possibly give is no, they're not rigged. No matter what whether they are or not.
Deflection techniques that Train uses whenever someone is critical of his sponsorship with Stake. He's able to avoid any sort of accountability by doubling down on everything, never apologizing, and creating an us versus them dynamic in which people are just fake, jealous, or they have an agenda that they want to push.
Us versus them. That sounds like somebody else that was in power down in the US. Us versus them. Fake.
Explain how Train defends.
I can't put my finger on it. Seriously, it boggles my mind how anyone has the ability to use a knife and fork is stupid enough to spend money on gambling. Bindi, there's people that just have addicted personalities, man. Some people that can't resist. Some people, some people they're just gullible. They see that Train's doing it. They're like, hey, I'm gonna do that too. You know, they think, oh, and it's the same thing as people that play the lotto. Like, you have like a 1 in like a trillion chance of winning the lotto, and people will go into it when the big jackpot's there, and they're like, okay, this time it's me. It's my turn. It's got to be me this time, and they will actually think this way. There are people whose brains are just that's just the way they are. It's also likely that the casinos lied to the streamer about it, possibly for it to be rigged, and for the streamer to maybe believe it's not. Maybe, but as a streamer, Cinder Gozer, Like, if you know that over the long run you're going to lose money, would you sign up for that deal? Like, like, let's say they're paying Train $1 million a month. The amount that he's wagering, and Train's saying it's more. Let's say it's 5 million, but the amount that he's betting over the course of a month, I know that he's going to hit some large jackpots, but because of the amount that he's winning, he's still going to dwindle down that $5 million. And I honestly think that he would lose it all by the end of the month. You know, like over the course of time, maybe not 1 month, but the next month, the next month, the next month. I just, like, he sits there for 16 hours a day just hitting spin. It's just continuously, like, it'll dwindle down a little bit. He'll hit, but he'll, and over time, it just, he's making less and less and less. And I believe that over the course of, you know, he streams at least 6 days a week, does he not? So what is, I mean, six times 16, what's that, 96 hours a week or some shit like that? If he's doing 16 hours a day, he can't be doing 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's insane. Let's say he's doing, that's 96 hours a week. But over the course of that time, if he's getting paid $5 million a month and he's spinning, like, let's say he's betting like thousands of dollars every stream, I honestly think that over the course of a month, he would be down to basically $0. That's why I'm like, there's something fishy going on here. There's honestly something fishy going on.
His gambling sponsorship through inoculation theory. In 1961, William McGuire
Okay, I'm having trouble keeping up with all these theories, I'm not going to lie.
founded inoculation theory. Contrary to other theories like cognitive dissonance or the elaboration likelihood model, inoculation theory explains how to avoid persuasion. Number 1, people can defend their attitudes against counterarguments. In this case, Train is able to defend his stance about gambling on Twitch. Number 2, people can build a resistance to persuasive messaging by being inoculated or exposed to counter-arguments. Persuasion in this case refers to making Train realize that his sponsorship is either unethical, immoral, or has negative consequences for his viewers. Resisting persuasion starts with threats. Explicit threats are when you go into an argument knowing that you're going to defend your beliefs. An example of this is when he debated the morality of his content with H3H3, Hassan, and XQC, versus an implicit threat, which is when you are unaware of an impending argument. The inoculation message, or the inoculation pre-treatment, is giving someone weak counter-arguments to defend against and refutations to those arguments. Inoculation theory has two main claims. The first claim of inoculation theory is that people can be inoculated against persuasive messages. Number 2, the target attitude or belief must be in place before inoculation, meaning you have to be a fan of gambling in this case before you are inoculated. Refutational preemption is providing counter-arguments and refutations at the same time to prevent later persuasion. This can be observed in the back and forth of any of these gambling debates. There are two types of refutational messages in this instance: refutational same and refutational different. An example of a refutational same message when it comes to Trainwrecks is accusing him of promoting gambling to kids. He then responds by saying, "My audience is not kids, and I don't promote gambling at all."
I'm not a child-friendly streamer, right? Like,
He's
I'm
definitely not
brand-friendly.
But the thing is that doesn't stop kids from watching him stream. The question I would ask Trainwrecks, since he's already said my stream is not geared towards kids, is would you have a problem with them requiring ID to show that you're of legal age to watch the stream? Simple question. You know, if he's like, okay, this has no impact on kids, would he have a problem with that? Because is he on right now? Hold on. Is he on right now? Let's take a look. Quite often he's on at this time. He's not. Okay, but quite often he's streaming to 25 to like 35 whatever thousand people. I guarantee you there's a chunk, even if you're like, the amount of people that are under the age of 18 is only like 10%. That's still a lot of people. So would he be prepared to say, hey, listen, in order to, just for the benefit of society or to make sure that kids aren't being brainwashed, I would like them to require identification or something like that to be able to watch my stream? He'd probably deflect that by saying, well, yeah, but then everybody else would have to show their identification as well. And a lot of those people probably wouldn't want to have to. Right? Anyways, most people expect they're still coming out on top, overestimating their ability to win. I've never understood why people gamble on lotto. Like I've never understood it. I've actually had to beg my family. It's a tradition in my family. My grandparents, my parents, my aunt and uncles, they give cards at Christmas, and there's always like a $20 lottery thing in it. And I generally win. Like I'll get like $80 in lottery tickets for Christmas, and I'll win like $2. And I literally have to tell them every Christmas, do not buy me lotto tickets. Like don't get me anything. Like I tell my mom. My mom was a single mom when I was growing up, and I tell her if she buys me anything, I'm taking it back to the store, just so that she will not buy me anything and spend her money on me. But it pisses me off even more because at least that stuff I could possibly use, like, you know, like she'll buy me socks or something like that. Okay, sure, I can use those. But I got tired of getting a bag of socks every year and me feeling like my mom's just wasting her money on me. So I asked her to stop. But they still give the lottery tickets. And I'm like, Mom, please stop spending your money on this crap. Because I'll do the scratch and wins and check the lottery and see if I win. And of course, people have spent like $80 or $100 on lottery tickets in cards that are given to me, and I'll win like $2. It's like, what a waste of money. Like it honestly upsets me because they could have taken that $100 and spent it on a nice dinner for my mom and my stepdad or something like that. You know, like, well, by today's prices, half of a dinner. But you get my gist, right? Like I don't get why people do it, Findy. So I don't understand it. But there are people that every week. My grandparents played lotto every single week. I remember as a kid, they used to do the draw for the lottery. It's called Lotto 649 where I live here. They used to do the draw for lottery on like 2 nights a week. I can't remember what nights it is. But I remember being at my grandparents' place, and my grandma would yell from the kitchen. Don't take that to mean anything. That's where she used to just hang out with her friends. But anyway, she'd yell to the front room where my grandpa was sitting there watching hockey with me. Hon, the lottery's going to be drawn in 2 minutes or whatever. And he'd flip the channel. They'd write the numbers down. They'd check their tickets and stuff like that every week. And they were doing this for years. Like, I can't imagine how much people are losing. And yeah, of course, you see the one story. Oh, this guy won, $10 million or something like that. It could be you next week. Make sure you buy your lottery tickets. Draw's going to be at 7:00 on Saturday.
I'm not child friendly, right? I don't have that audience, nor is my personality for that audience. I just have an issue with the promoting gambling.
Don't get me wrong. Kids love people like train wrecks. You can say you don't have the personality for that audience. Kids love people like train wreck.
Thing. I mean, I guess you could argue, regardless, me just playing it passively could promote it to a certain degree. But I think as long as I'm saying what I'm saying, showing the reality of it, like I don't know.
A refutational different message is
so that's like remember what I was saying earlier about people that are like addicts, whether it's to gambling or whatever. Even if you're saying in front of, this would be like a crackhead in front of another crackhead saying, hey, crack's really bad, you shouldn't be doing crack, blah 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 type of thing, but you're smoking crack in front of the other crackhead and blowing it in their face or whatever. That doesn't mean shit. If somebody that is addicted to gambling is on Twitch and sees you gambling, they're going to just get the urge to do it. And there are some people that have addictive personalities that are growing up and they don't realize they have addictive personalities until they're addicted to shit. So you could be doing this in front of a kid who's like 10 years old or something like that. This kid may develop an addictive personality over the course of time and become addicted to gambling because they saw somebody gambling and they're like, hey, I want to try that. And then they become addicted. It's the same thing as, kids that live in whatever, neighborhoods and they see other kids doing drugs and like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try that. And kids that get, introduced to that sort of thing at an earlier age are more susceptible to actually be doing stuff like drugs and getting into hardcore drugs later on in life.
Is when you change the argument to something similar. In this case, Train will say that he's for entertainment purposes only, and he has streamer capital to gamble.
Doesn't matter if you're for entertainment purposes only. If you could be sitting there smoking crack in front of other crackheads and saying, "Hey, man, don't do this. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes."
Do not get it twisted. Do not gamble.
Do not get it twisted. Don't smoke crack.
Do not start.
Do not start smoking crack.
Gambling is entertainment.
Crack is for entertainment.
And entertainment only.
And entertainment only. Don't smoke crack. You're saying, sitting there saying this in front of other crackheads, right? Or other people that are susceptible to being addicted.
You won't break even.
Don't try this.
You won't win. You won't do any of that. Do you understand? You will only go into debt and ruin your fucking life. I do this because I fucking love it. I do it all the time. It's entertainment for people who...
I smoke crack because I love it. I do it all the fucking time. Don't clip that because I don't actually smoke crack. It's entertainment for people who can afford it. People who do crack generally can't afford it.
Who can afford it, and that's it.
He even goes as far as to put a warning label on his streams, which is the equivalent of smoking causes cancer, which is funny because you'll never meet somebody who smokes and actually cares that it causes cancer. I'm only relating these...
That is not true. There's lots of people that smoke that are wishing to quit because they know it causes cancer. Like, people want to quit.
Things to smoking or say drinking because these are the arguments that are thrown out into this sphere. Train is able to resist changing his attitudes and beliefs about gambling because he has been so many arguments with refutations to his beliefs that he is inoculated to change.
Useful idiot. Who they got here?
Aiden Ross is the perfect useful idiot for a billion-dollar crypto casino.
Wait.
Ever since he...
That's who was in the other video. Remember we watched that last one? I was like, who is this guy? I don't recognize him. He had a toucan. I didn't
blew up on
recognize who he
Twitch by
was.
pretending to be gay in front of rappers. He acts oblivious and stupid, always making himself the target of a joke. He is unapologetically dumb, as if self-awareness can excuse ripping off your own fans.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a while back.
He had a toucan. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I hope none of you guys actually bought it.
First, he was FaZe Banks' puppet, with Rubet and Wizza, securing millions of dollars, flying down to Mexico to skirt gambling laws in the US, and now he is sponsored by Stake. When one casino gets exposed, it's on to the next. And when there's a bag to be secured, it's apparent that Aiden Ross will say yes to anything. He has solace in that his fans will have his back, so long as he makes himself seem too naive to understand the consequences of his actions. Aiden Ross has a history of leaking his Discord
What is this? Like
messages revealing how much he gets paid to promote gambling to his fans. Imagine living in a world where million-dollar deals are being discussed in a Discord server. That is the dystopia that we're living in. He even argued for more money because other shady crypto casinos were paying him top dollar. These crypto casinos have that much money because of their structure. Similar to Train, Aiden Ross moved to Canada to pursue his gambling sponsorship with Stake. And right now, Aiden Ross is making anywhere from $600,000 to over $1 million a week for gambling on stake.com. This is one of his crypto wallets, and as you can see, constant streams of 300 Ethereum are being deposited for a 3-month block.
Okay, all right, I get what you're saying.
Wait, how often? Hold on.
Ethereum are being deposited for a 3-month block.
Okay, all right, I get what you're saying, but the Phil's thing is what I was like, all right, the Phil's thing is what's wrong, I get that. But if it's raw balance, you know, it's my money and I get it, I'm being paid to do it. It's still, it's not fake gambling anymore at that point. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I don't get what you're saying. I get it. I get what you're trying to say. I still don't agree with it. It doesn't matter. You're like, oh man, I'm just like losing my own money. Who cares? It's like, okay. You're still.
Look, I know what you're saying. Either way, I think if you gamble, you're gonna lose, and I make that very clear, and everyone knows that. But
look, the only thing that is gonna make you stop, I know for a fact, is when Stake is like, all right, so we're no longer paying these motherfuckers, and then you're still gonna gamble probably, but not as much as you do, and you're not gonna move to Toronto for it.
True.
Aiden Ross just admitted that he would not be gambling as much if Stake pulled their sponsorship with him, because then he wouldn't have the cushion to fall back on. Meaning, if this was his actual own money, he would be more cautious with it. He would not be gambling. This makes any sort of losses that these streamers rant about and cry about meaningless. These streamers are not living in squalor, making ramen for dinner because their gambling addiction got the best of them. One look at any of the sponsored streamers' lifestyles, and you'd see that they are balling out while capitalizing off their audience. The dark reality is, Stake is getting an exponential return on investment with their money. The streamers are making millions of dollars, and the entire cycle is fueled by the minority who fall victim to gambling. While the internet discusses the moral and ethics of gambling for the entertainment of others, no one is talking about the hypodermic needle effect of Stake.com. This debunked linear method of communication assumes that the audience is a passive consumer, being spoon-fed information, unable to form their own thoughts, opinions, and beliefs. Obviously, we know that audiences are active, and they should actively challenge any sort of information that they consume. In the Orwellian world that we're headed towards, Stake.com has enough money to buy influence, and we're just forced to accept it as the status quo. Twitch streamers, the UFC, soccer teams, and Drake are just the first pawns in a long game of chess. Stake will expand into all aspects of gambling, and it won't be before long you start seeing a global presence. The celebrities and corporations that endorse Stake.com or other crypto casinos are signing on the dotted line for a bag. Period. They're not experts, they're not trustworthy, and it's an insult to everyone's intelligence that this level of buying power is being used to lure people into gambling.
That's basically what it
normalization
is.
Of Stake into mainstream culture is
paying
dystopian
these,
at its.
This video's almost over. They're paying these super famous people on whatever that people look up to promote their gambling site, to make them feel as though, hey, this is a legit thing. You can gamble here, blah blah blah. These guys are doing it.
They are targeting the largest celebrities on the planet, painting them as proverbial Robin Hoods giving back to the poor, abusing parasocial relationships via streamers to capitalize on an addiction, jumping through legal loopholes to operate in Australia, and licensing your company to a shack in the middle of the ocean. And who knows what they're pulling behind the scenes.
That was a good video. You think it's time to pull the plug on the internet? That was a good video. I liked it, but like I said at the very beginning, I was like, something feels fishy with this sort of shit. Something feels really fishy, and I again, I don't know the how their contracts are worded, what they do and do not know for sure. If there is if the sites themselves have gone to them and said, hey, listen, we're going to guarantee you that you're not going to lose money. We're going to make sure that you win long run and you know, blah, blah, blah. And as a sponsor, we're also going to pay you X amount of money per month. If these streamers know that they're going to not lose any money, and that's kind of like a, you know, under the table handshake type of deal, that's pretty fucking scummy. Because then all you're doing is you're legitimately just sitting there on stream trying to suck people in to come gamble their money and lose it themselves. And yes, there's lots of people that are just doing it for entertainment purposes only. We saw Train's little spiel, but there are people out there that you're advertising this activity to that will literally go and lose all of their money. And it might not even be, the thing is it might not even be somebody that has ever gambled before. It could be somebody that it's the same as somebody who's never done crack before. They might just try it once and that's it. They're an addict. They will not stop. And that's kind of what is the sickening part about it. I know I could go onto one of these gambling sites, make one spin and say, that's it, I'm never doing it again. But there are people out there who don't know that or aren't that sure of themselves and will go on and they'll make a spin. They'll be like, shit, I lost that time. Well, the odds, there's actually a term for it and I can't remember what it is. It's like something fallacy theory or something like that, where you believe that the odds of the next roll are in your favor because you lost the last one. I can't remember what it is. If you remember what it is and you're still watching the video, leave a comment down below or I'll look it up or something like that. But there are actually people that believe hot hand fallacy. Okay, that's what it is. Is that what it's called? called? Sunken cost fallacy. It's from, is it from basketball? It's hot hand fallacy. Okay, that's what it is. So that's where it's from. So kind of the belief that, oh, you lost this one, you're gonna win. You're gonna win the next one, and it doesn't work that way. Like the odds of you losing the next hand are just as against you as the previous hand. So if you know that the casino is or the slot machines are rigged so that they only pay out like a certain amount of time, it's the same time and time and time again. And that's why I was saying earlier, even if they're getting paid like $5 million a month, that guaranteed loss over time, I believe, is large enough that they would actually go through that $5 million with how much they're losing over the course of the month. And that's why I feel like there's something fishy going on here. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. This one is a little bit of a longer one, so if you're still here, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, my reaction video, I would appreciate a like and a sub if you don't mind. I do videos regularly on this channel. I also stream on Twitch 6 nights a week starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can come watch me there. I stream a lot of games, World of Warcraft primarily, but we'll also be doing other games. We'll be watching videos and stuff like that too. Basically anything nerdy. We're really into Game of Thrones, the new Game of Thrones. In fact, I actually bought the new book. I want to have it finished before the series starts. So anyways, come check out my channel. We'll talk to you guys soon, and hopefully we'll see you guys around. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.